Opening on Broadway next week, not a new play, but a new museum. Rita Braver is there as the curtain goes up.
The lights of Broadway have always beckoned, but something's been missing.
There's never been a permanent space that you could go to in Times Square to experience and learn about the history of Broadway.
So Julie Boardman,
These are original chorus line costumes, hand beaded.
a co-producer on 9 Broadway shows, and her college pal, Diane Nicoletti, who works in brand marketing, are creating the Museum of Broadway.
We want it to be inspiring for guests. We want it to be fun, and we want to provide an education as well.
Approximately when did the neighborhood that we think of now as Broadway really get started?
The Broadway that we think of now essentially began in the late 1800s, early 1900s.
We talked with the museum's historian, Ben West, at a soda fountain like the one in West Side Story, which opened in 1957. Just across the way, anyone can try to follow the show's choreography. Yeah, see, we can do this. We can. I need a skirt. West has created a Broadway timeline with hundreds of images. Gene Kelly in Pal Joey, Ethel Merman in Gypsy, Ben Vereen in Pippin. If I read every bit of copy and looked at every picture, this could take me years to go through this.
I don't know if it will take you years. Broadway is our history. Broadway is integral to American culture, to American life, and the history of Broadway is the history of a people. It's the history of a country.
What year did this show go up on Broadway?
Showboat opened in December 1927. This is a representation of really the maturity of the American musical and where it's going, dealing with serious issues, contemporary themes.
The museum features items like Jennifer Hudson's costume from The Color Purple, the little red dress from Annie, a mask from The Lion King, a pair of kinky boots, and much more. So this is the Cabaret space. Ta-da!
Look at that.
Now 90, Joel Grey is a Broadway legend, famous for creating roles like the MC in Cabaret, which the museum features as a Broadway game changer. Set in Berlin as the Nazis were coming to power, it was a musical that dared to explore dark themes. Grey says he was hooked when he first heard the composers play the score.
And I sat there and I heard John Kander play bop, 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 bop. And I heard Fred Ebb sing, Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. And I thought to myself, oh my God, that's gonna be my song.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Im Cabaret, ja Cabaret, de Cabaret.
But on opening night in 1966,
The audience was frightened. Act 1 came to a close, and there was silence. And
no applause?
No. And everybody went out and didn't know whether to applaud or not. They were just stunned.
Yet Cabaret became a huge hit,
Joel Grey,
winning 8 Tonys, including one for Joel Grey. He also earned an Oscar for the movie version.
Money makes all birds go round the birds, go round the birds.
And the founders of this museum, backed by a slew of investors, are hoping that visitors will be willing to spend around $50 a ticket to learn the stories of Broadway. How much is all this costing? Give me a ballpark figure.
Millions.
Millions and millions.
Millions and millions and millions.
All to showcase one of America's great art forms.
There's nothing like it. The theater is historical. It's a tradition.